What's up, everybody? We are back with episode 37 of the Everybody But Me show. We have our guy, Chase DeMoor, joining us tonight. On my left, I got Phil. On my right, I got Dominique. Chase, man, I'm so excited to have you. You guys have seen this guy on Too Hot to Handle. You have seen this guy on The Perfect Match just recently. I mean, I just had it on my Instagram Live, and everyone was like, Daddy Chase. Chase is so hot. Chase is this and that. You know, he had an interview earlier with, or not an interview, but a meeting earlier with Katie and Tate. And he left them in a tizzy afterwards. They were talking about you for the next hour. They're like, they didn't know what to expect. And like, this is the nicest / most beautiful man ever. and so basically what they said is, please invite him to Florida whenever you get a chance. But Chase, man, you got a lot going on. You played football at Central Washington University. You were there studying marriage counseling and neuroscience, and now you're a pro boxer. I mean, you got a resume, my guy. You got a pro boxer. You got a fight coming up April 21st with Steve Knight at the XULA Convention Center in New Orleans. That's hype. Hey, if I'm free, I'm there. That's so I'm gonna try and make that with Dazen. I mean, dude, you're doing it all right now. You just did, Too Hot to Handle. You just did The Perfect Match. Like, how's it feel? The life you're living, the world you are, professional boxer now. What's good, man?
Man, it's been crazy, bro. Like, I remember, like, I was just another kid in college, partying every weekend, trying to make it to class. And, like, it's crazy because, like, obviously, like, I've been somebody that's always liked to challenge myself. And, I'm big on, like, my dad used to tell me all the time, don't make yourself, like, one-dimensional. And so, like, I think it kind of, like, stemmed into, like, I'm really intrigued in, like, anatomy, like, learning new things. And so, like, I got really into, like, psychology, like, cognitive psychology, which kind of like led me into wanting to, get my master's degree in neuroscience because, I always thought, if I could be a doctor and come from like this really rough background, that'd be pretty cool, right? And, throughout the process of that, I got to really like, learn about, human emotions such as like love and stuff. And so I was like, what a better job would be, what could be a better job than to be like a marriage counselor in like modern society today. And so like, I really started focusing on that in school. And then, just one thing led to another, my man.
One thing led to another. Now wow. You go on Too Hot to Handle. You get all this fame. You go on Perfect Match. You're doing all this, and now you're a professional boxer. I mean, I think you kind of kicked the neuroscience, and it just took up the totally opposite side of the game and sport, and now you're doing boxing. I mean, it's wild what you're doing.
Yeah, bro. Like, it was cool because, like, for a while, like, the way I got my shot on Too Hot to Handle is, I came out of university in 2020. It was, like, the COVID year. Everything was, like, shut down. It sucked, bro. Like, there was nothing to do. And, I started, the app TikTok was just, like, very new at that time. And so, like, I had my friends sending me, like, TikToks and stuff like that. I was like, bro, I'm not getting on this app. It's dead in the water, essentially. And he goes, well, I think you could do really good on TikTok. You got a great personality for it. And so what I started to do was, I was training at the time to go to the league. I was, trying to get into the NFL or the CFL, whatever it was at the time. And so what I was doing on TikTok is I was just taking like my sports workouts and skits and catches and stuff and just, putting it on the app. And I started, building up an audience from this character that I created called The Best Hands on TikTok. And, it was crazy because then I got reached out to by multiple TV shows, Love Island, and Too Hot to Handle. I didn't know it was Too Hot to Handle at the time. It was called The Parties in Paradise or something like that. And, I kind of like ignored Parties in Paradise because like, I've never heard of this show, but everybody knows what Love Island is, right? And so, just going through like the whole casting process, everything was done over Zoom. So I actually didn't really get to like sit and, speak with anybody face to face. And so they kind of just had to like take your word for it, see what you look like on video. There was like lots of pictures. For a while, I thought I was being pranked because, they would come on the Zooms and be like, hey, can you strip down to your, bathing suit or your underwear, whatever it is, do like a turn for us. And I was like, thinking in my head, like this would be a terrible, like Ashton Kutcher episode if you got punked.
Right. You don't even want to know how my modeling career started then. Because it's even more embarrassing. But,
what did you do?
Huh?
So what did you do?
Do you want to hear this story real quick?
Of course.
All right, so I'm a nobody. I was trying to play professional football too. Got cut by the Ravens twice. I'm like down and out. I was 250 pounds playing tight end. I lose all my weight, and so I lose this weight, and I'm posting on pictures, just random stuff, you know what I mean? Just trying to thirst trap, trying to get some girls to just holler at me because I'm back home in town, you know? And then all of a sudden this random person keeps like putting like fire emblems emojis under my pictures. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? So I click on him, it says casting director. I'm like, all right. So I hit him up. I'm like, what's going on? You know? And he's like, have you ever modeled? I was like, no, I've never modeled. He's like, well, you should send me some digitals. I'll try and connect you with some agencies. I was like 230. I'm still big at this point, you know? So I was like, I don't even know what a digital is. I was like, what's a digital? So he sends me over a digital. It's like these guys in underwears. I'm like, man, I'm about to send my underwear pictures to some random dude I don't even know. Like, what am I about to do? You know? But hey, man.
I don't know. Sounds like.
When you're down and out, you're broken, you're desperate, you do some damn things, you know? And so,
isn't that the truth?
Exactly. And so I took these pictures, and the funny thing is, like, my boy Mike had like a nice camera, so we used his camera. My brother Ryan's like holding a lamp on his shoulder, like doing the lighting, you know? And we're in my mom's bathroom. I'm like squatting like with my underwear photos and shit. And so we took these photos, and I sent them to him. I was like looking at him, I was like, man, am I really about to send this to this guy? I'm like, I don't know what he's gonna do with these photos. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Sent it. You know, the next thing you know, he sends me with all these agencies, and they all said yes. And then I went and like met them all. They all said yes after that. And they're like, you just need to lose some more of your football weight. That's how I started modeling.
Bro, what? I had the exact opposite. They're like, you know, we kind of like the dad bod, Chase. Keep the dad bod.
Well, Chase, you did a good job getting rid of the dad bod. I saw the pictures of you boxing. You're in good shape right now. You're in good shape,
bro. Night and day, because you know that football weight, you got to be kind of like heavier, bro. I was playing that outside. I was just eating like PB&Js every night before bed, trying to put on like all this. And then you know, I obviously, you know how the NFL is, bro. If I tell them I'm a 220-pound defensive end, I'm not getting signed anywhere.
Exactly.
So I got cut from the Seahawks. I got into camp with them, got cut from the Seahawks. Ended up getting signed to the CFL, the Canadian Football League. I was up there with Montreal. And then at this time, obviously, I was still training with the team, with the quarterback specifically. And while casting for Love Island, that eventually Shay took me off because they didn't like the dad bod. Mm-hmm. And then Parties in Paradise was like, you know what? You look like a good, you know, typical American football player. You know, come on our show. Keep the look. It's going to be something unique, something different. And so, like, you know, I walked in with a T-shirt and everybody else was like ripped six packs. So
that means your personality had to shine. That's all.
Yeah. Man, I had to over personalize.
Yeah, I mean, you blew up. You did your damn thing. I mean, I feel like everyone went on The Bachelor thinking they were gonna blow up, and now it's starting to die out. You see all these Netflix shows. People got the huge followings. Y'all are killing it now. I mean, y'all are the biggest thing right now. The Perfect Match just came out. So talk to me. One, I want to talk first about what was dating like for you when you were in college with you. I mean, you were in a long-term relationship. How was that?
I mean, obviously, like, I was a kid, so I mean, like, I'm not gonna say like I was faithful the whole time. I started dating this girl when I was like 17, and when I was like, I think 19 or 20, I did that thing where it's like, I just want to remove the title but be exclusive. So if I did anything, like, it technically didn't constitute as cheating, and so like, obviously, you know, I went, I had my fun. You know how it is, you know, playing sports in college. We were traveling every weekend. I remember me and the boys, we were on the road and, like, you know, we're on the airplane downloading, you know, Tinder, Hinge, you know, Bumble, like whatever it is.
Did that.
On the way there, yeah, setting our location, you know, looking on Instagram, and I think Snapchat at the time was pretty popular, to see like what girls were around when we got there. And, you know, like I've definitely gotten my fair share of, you know, extra conditioning or like, you know, quarter suspensions for missing bed checks and you know, for a lot of reasons actually. But, you know, I had a great time. You know, I think, you know, especially when you are in like any type of university, playing any type of sport, I feel like, and if you're like, you know, a predominant player on the team, I feel like, you know, girls never were like a problem for me. And I think that's what helped me with Two Out the Handle, is like, not only was I like this, you know, college football player, you know, now turned pro, I was studying, you know, trying to be a marriage counselor. And like, I think, you know, I was so asinine when I was talking to these producers on the phone. I was like, you know, because I thought it was a joke. You know, Parties in Paradise, it sounds fake. And they're like, yeah, just brag about yourself like you're a car salesman. And I was like, yeah, you know, I went to school and I got this degree to study, you know, love and stuff. But basically, all it did was teach me how to manipulate girls better. I was basically just shit talking. Like, I could tell a girl everything else to hear. You know, I was honest about it, you know? And so then they wanted to see, like, Snapchat videos of what I was doing in college. And I had like this really bad problem. This is why I had to like stop drinking as much, is because I would always like drink, and then I would have this thing where I'd want to like, do you know what baby birding is?
No. Hold on, is that where you squirt the liquor out of your mouth?
What?
Yeah.
And you pour it into someone else?
Not with the wings.
You don't do the wings?
We're not.
I'm like, I don't know what it is. Tell me.
Like always like baby birding, and like for some reason when I sent that off, they absolutely loved it on Two Out the Handle. They're like, this is exactly what we're looking for, like a confident guy. He does all these things, and he's funny. It's hard to find like personalities. And I think that's a lot of the problem with all these newer reality people, is they go on these shows and they're like, well, I don't want to be canceled like this person, so I'm gonna do nothing and still try to get fame from this show that's only relevant for like a month or two. And through the process of doing that, when I became pro, I was technically still in school. So like I went from being like this college athlete to like now I'm a pro athlete, but yes, I'm still going to classes. And so, that obviously like that's the first thing I'm gonna tell every girl, like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, honestly, like I'm just here just to finish my degree, because like I've already signed a contract to go play professional football in Canada. Or like at the time I signed to training camp with the Seahawks, and like I was doing like, all of these things while casting for a TV show.
Crazy.
That's
so we have the question in here. Do you think athletes deserve the bad rap they get for dating girls in college? And I'm gonna go with yes, Chase. After all that, I'm gonna go with yes.
I'm just kidding. If I had a daughter, I would say no. But like, listen, if you have a daughter and it's me, then you say yes.
Oh boy.
No, I would say like, you can say what you want about football players. The worst athletes are basketball players.
Hands down. Basketball athletes are the worst when it comes to dating in college.
Yeah.
Push the heat off.
I know a lot of football players, especially like more on the offensive side of the ball, because we can all agree, like, there's differences between offense and defense. At my university specifically, like we were like, it's damn near a separate team. And, I was usually like offensive, like linemen. There's the occasional tight end, no offense, but they were usually like the really loyal, faithful ones, like the quarterbacks. And then to get to the outside is like, that's when you start having problems with relationships.
All right, Jason, this is my next question then. What is life now though? Do you want to flip the script now? Because people in the comments are like, he was a player on Too Hot to Handle. He was a player on Perfect Match.
I was not. Listen. So this is my problem too. Is like right now, like I'm 25. Obviously, like I'm not looking for anything serious by any means. And I think like on Too Hot to Handle, my thing is like we talk about like love languages. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but the girl that I was with, her love language is physical touch. Mine absolutely is not. Like that is one thing that'll make me run so fast. I hate PDA. Like that is never gonna be me, especially because I think it developed in college when I was like would see girls on the low. I'd be like, see them in public, you can't be seen like touching them. It's like I had like this girl at the time that would probably like lost her mind if she saw this. So like I think it was something that like really built into me, that I was just not into PDA. I was more of like quality time. And so I would hang out with this Carly on Too Hot to Handle a lot. And she was like always trying to touch. She's like, you're not very touchy, this and that. And so it started causing issues in our relationship on the show. Obviously, everybody can remember, like I tried to sit down and talk about my feelings to her, which is something like I don't normally do. And when I did that, I had a giant cockroach come and land on my face that somehow everybody in the world saw. It literally made my career this giant roach. That people remind me of. They call me Roach Boy and this and that for like the longest time. But
I've seen that video like 25 times.
Oh, you've seen the video?
Yes.
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen the video.
I've never seen it.
When we go to break, I'm about to watch this.
That's hilarious.
Man, everybody was reposting that video. I couldn't even live it down. And like in the moment when that happened to me, like, I had to go back, how TV is, you got to go back and finish the conversation. And then you even use the conversation, and so, I broke up with her on the show. Another girl came into the villa who was also very attractive. And I was like, it's not working out with this girl. So I'm obviously, she's hot. I'm going to try with her. And so like I was with this other girl on the show, and, the way it gets like chopped up, they made it seem like essentially like I was not interested in either one of them. It is what it is. So I left the show single, waiting for the show to come out. In the process, after the Roach came out, you know, I got voted like the fan favorite of season 2, you know, without even being in a couple and with a dad bod, mind you, you know. You know, I didn't need a 6-pack or, you know, like, you know, any of the Hollywood look to do it. I just went on there and I was, you know, had a bug land on my face. It was kind of like Spider-Man, but not really. But essentially, you know, after that happened, I got reached out to by Netflix. They're like, you know, we really like your personality. We want to, you know, keep using you, obviously. So we have like an interesting show that we're developing. We're basically taking the fan favorites of every season and we're going to put you guys on one dating show and you guys can try to date each other. And so that's how like Perfect Match came to be.
I mean, which is essentially, I feel like our Paradise from The Bachelor world.
Right.
But I mean, they're just so much bigger than what Bachelor is now. And I mean, how did that end up for you? For those who haven't watched it.
So I came in there like a surgeon, bro. Like I felt like I was like Steph Curry in the NBA Finals. I went in there, I had a whole game plan. I felt like not even Steph Curry, LeBron. Like nobody could stop me, bro. Like I remember, like when I was getting casted for that show, they were explaining the premise of the show. Like it's like a challenge show / dating. Think Love Island meets The Challenge. And I'm sitting there thinking in my head, like, okay, so you're telling me like I'm gonna go date beautiful girls that are notable, the same as I am. And I'm going to be doing athletic challenges. In my head, I'm like, there's nobody in reality TV remotely close to athletic as me. And so I'm like, this sounds like I'm going to win this show. And so I started like developing like different game plans of like how I wanted to like go about this show and stuff like that. And the difference was I was very honest about it. Like I tell everybody, like, I'm not going to lie. Like I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. It's kind of like in football when you know you're going to like score a touchdown. It's like, bro, this is the play. I'm running it at you. I'm going to move you regardless. And that's kind of like what I was doing on the show. And so when I got casted to go, production was like, you know, we're not going to send you in, you know, initially. You know, they bring in like the starting people and you'll come in kind of like as a bombshell to shake it up. And, you know, I was the first guy to go in. You know, they send everybody whose shows haven't come out yet, who might not have gotten brought in, you know, had roles been switched, and they sent him in with Francesca and so on and so forth. She was kind of like the main person at the time. And so like I was the first person brought in. I think I came in at the end of like episode 1 or something like that. Very right. And like as soon as like I came in, like I was, you know, I had to take this girl on a date who was like, you know, at the time coupled with my friend. And then she told me what the show was. And she was like, if you don't couple up at the end of the night, then you have to go back, you know, you get eliminated essentially. And you know, she was, you know, telling me about the guy she was with at the time. And at the time, I didn't know it was my friend, Joey Sasso from The Circle. But, you know, that doesn't change anything. You know, I had a game plan. I got to stick by it. And so when I went in there, I kissed her. And nobody has kissed anybody yet. So I kissed this girl, trying to get her to me. I'm literally telling her all the things that, you know, she needs to hear. So, like, I need you to pick me. I need you to pick me so I can stay in this house. But at the same time, I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. I went out and I told all of the girls essentially that I loved them and they were all beautiful. Oh. As they clipped it, it's just me like going to every conversation, telling every girl like, "Oh, I think you're the one. I think you're the one." You know, respectfully so. And so I ended up getting picked by a different, like the girl who I kissed. She's like, "I really like you, but I can't trust you, obviously. But I'm gonna have this other girl pick you." Who was coupled up with another one of my friends. So essentially, like I had to break up 2 of my friends' relationships to stay in there. And this was day 1, mind you. And so then after that, I was basically botching all of the challenges and the scores so that I could, you know, manipulate it and win. And the girl I was with, I was just like basically telling her like all the things she wanted to hear so that she would let me control the boardroom a little bit. Cause like this is all a game of chess at this point.
Was there a prize at the end?
At the time, we didn't know what the prize was. They just were kind of like speculating, like, oh, I think the prize is going to be, you know, $100,000, you know, $200,000, whatever it is. They said like it was going to be something to start your new life together with your partner. I'm sitting there thinking of whatever that show is when you have the ball and you can like break it or like keep the money or you know what I mean? Whatever that is, I'm sitting there thinking like there's going to be like this cash prize at the end of it. And I want to win this show. And I know almost all the people that are already on this show besides the new people whose shows haven't came out. And I know a lot of them have, you know, relationships back home already. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you know, nobody's in here to find love. Everybody has a relationship back home. And so I'm botching all these scores, controlling the scoreboard, and I bring in this girl named Georgia, essentially. And, that's when everything went south, because then I started thinking with the wrong head. I was like, this girl is beautiful.
Uh-oh.
My whole game plan went out the window, and then it came back, bit me in the ass. And
Coach told you about that one way back in the day. Coach warned you plenty of times. They tell you in boxing, nothing before the game.
Yep.
Nothing before the match.
They say one beautiful girl has more power than the entire football team. It's crazy.
Amen to that, brother.
Shout out Troy.
But so I think something that I think is worth pointing out is like, you're on a TV show, you're having fun, your personality. It's not necessarily the real you or the real dating or any of that. Like, you're there for how long? A month?
Yeah, a month, sometimes 2.
Like, what are you going to really fabricate out of a real relationship in that time span?
Yeah,
especially when you're competing to try and survive in advance.
Yeah, and I think the problem with it too is, like, obviously on these TV shows, you're just with this person like all the time, and like time moves slower because you don't have like phones and clocks and stuff like that. So it feels like you're there for a long time, and I think that's with like a lot of these newer TV people. Is like, I said it on Perfect Match, I said it after, before as well. I was just like, you got to have what's like a third eye in reality TV, and remember, like, everything that you're in is not fake, because a fake world kind of becomes real to you. And you have to remember, like, just because the day feels like a week, it's still only a day. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's why, like, on the show, towards the end, everybody was like essentially thinking like I was just being, a dickhead, because I was like, your guys' relationship is fake. Or, how can you say you want to be this guy's girlfriend and you've never been happier when the day before yesterday you told, this girl that you were in love with her. And like, I brought all this stuff up, especially in like the finale, and, nobody really had my back. They were all just like looking at me like, you just say things to get a reaction. I'm like, no, you guys are all just, you guys don't understand. Like, this is off camera. This is a TV show. Like, make a show. On camera, I'm like, no, you guys are just being disingenuous, trying to win the show. Some people are more invested into others. And then, you fast forward this thing, like, obviously to now, and you see like none of the couples are really together. All of this, she said, he said stuff comes out about who's in a relationship and who's not. And everybody's like, Chase, you were right the whole time. And I was like, I know I was right the whole time. That's why I never, that's why I stick by with what I said on the show,
I mean, you're 100% right in the sense that, like, you got to make a show. You're basically making a character, But I want to know. I want to peel back this layer now. Who is Chase outside the show? Who is Chase now?
Oh man, like, I would say, like, I have a great relationship with everybody who does TV, especially in the Netflix universe. I'm big on like creating like this family amongst reality people. We all share this unique experience, and so like I think like if you ask anybody who knows me, and they say, or if anybody says anything bad about me, then you would just know that they don't really know me, because like I'm honestly, like, outside of the show, I'm always about helping other people. Like, I connect everybody, big or small, however much they grew on their show, if it was good or bad. And like, I personally have taken out, season 3 of Two Out the Handle out to like, eat a whole nice dinner, network them with people. I've taken out like The Circle, Dated and Related. Like, every show that comes out, if a cast member reaches out to me, I usually like, take them out around LA, introduce them to everybody, make connections, because that was something that, somebody did for me, and it helped me grow, like, a lot more as like a person, as an influencer, as a TV personality. And like, I think, Netflix is doing a really great job with all these shows, trying to, create this family essentially. And I'm big on that. And, like, outside of that, like, I take care of, a lot of my family members back home, like my mom, my grandma, my brothers. And, I have, 2 different charities that I'm currently like working to develop full-time along with my business. Like, every holiday since Two Out the Handle, I've gone out into like my old neighborhood, which is like obviously a very low income area. And I hand out turkeys. I make posts all the time, asking, families who are in need of food or anything during the holiday season, reach out. I keep everything anonymous essentially. And, like, I'm just, for me, like, I know, like, if I wasn't in the situation that I was in, then I would never, expect anybody to do that. And I think that's like my character, even on TV, is like, I always do like the unexpected. And, I think that, if you have an opportunity to help somebody, then, I'm big on, wanting to help people. So
sounds like someone we know.
I was going to say, wow. Well done. Good pair, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
pair.
I think that's the ultimate blessing that the
It
show
is.
gives you is you get this opportunity now to make money and do amazing things, especially if you pop off like you did and like I was fortunate enough to. And then it's okay, how can you start receiving these blessings? How can I take this and make a bigger impact? How can I, take care of my parents? How can I take care of my brothers, my, whatever it is, my friends, And I think that's where the special things happen. I think the things I'm most proud of from my time being on the show is how I was able to put my people and my friends and family in positions to win, Did we lose Chase? There he is.
Sorry, somebody was calling me. Yeah,
He had another girl calling him, huh?
Yeah, no, it was my mom. I think that I'm very much on that, and I think that for me personally, I think what I used to tell myself is sometimes you have to see that there are people like that to believe it. And so like for me, I saw maybe one person my entire life that was, very caring and genuine like that too. And so like I always wanted to be that person because I feel like you don't realize like how big of an impact you can have on somebody's life. It just takes one person to really believe in you and you can do like a lot of things. And so for me, like with the platform that we were given, we become like the voice of the voiceless essentially. And, that's something like I would never take for granted. And I know that, social media and all this stuff it could be gone tomorrow. And all you really have is like, the people that you did, these things for and hope that you build these relationships with these people and that, if Instagram was gone tomorrow and we were all back to normal, then at least, nobody can really say that, this changed you or money changed you or this and that, you still stayed true to like who you were before, all of this TV nonsense.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Now, what is, okay, here's my question. You use the marriage counseling techniques you learned, probably what some would say a negative way. Manipulation, How would you want to see yourself using it in a positive way down the road?
When I was younger, I definitely did use it in a very manipulative way. Like, I think that understanding, like, what to say to people might not always be the best way to handle things because I know how to get a reaction on people. And I think it works really well on dating shows and, like, when you're young. But, like, I feel like as I'm getting older, it's definitely something I do want to go back to and like revisit. Obviously, like I want to finish getting my master's and, get the whole thing done. I think at some point in time, I would like to offer some sort of, I don't know if it is going to be necessarily titled some sort of marriage counselor, but I want to offer some sort of help to, this modern generation of dating, because I think that, realistically dating is so much harder now than it's ever been just because, it's so easy to just swipe up and find the next person and, you don't really have to deal with as much nonsense. It's not like, back in the day where it's just like one pretty girl, one small town, and this is the next 50 years, you know what I mean? So I think I want to offer some sort of help in the future to, at least be like an open ear. I think, especially me, I have a platform, I know how social media works. I've dated a lot of girls. I've seen a lot of girls and, I know a lot of guys as well. So I think that.
So maybe a dating coach in the future?
Yeah, dating coach. That'd be the word, just trying to help people out in a modern way.
Well, I think something that stands out, and something I think you can help where I think people lack the most in dating is confidence. And you can tell this, you're full of confidence, know. And that's a good thing, You got to have that confidence, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. I don't think many people today will go up to some girl that they think is cute at a coffee shop or somewhere besides a bar, besides you have that liquid encouragement, to go up to someone and say, "Hey, how are you?" or "Hey, my name's such and such." Like, no one does that anymore. And I think, how would you instill confidence in somebody who doesn't have confidence?
Man, that is the craziest thing. Is it's like you ever heard the term "you got to fake it till you make it"?
Yeah.
I think that is like such an underrated saying. I would say like you practice what you preach and fake it till you make it is some of the most underrated things that you can say. And I think that transitions into dating. I remembered specifically a quote that, Mike Tyson said, before, his fight to get like the butterflies and stuff. And I compare that to, going and talking to a pretty girl at the gym or a coffee shop. You get these butterflies and it makes you not want to do it. And he would say like the worst part of that whole thing is the feeling before you get in the ring, because when you get in the ring, you feel like a monster. And it's just like, I would tell anybody who's trying to build confidence is, go look at yourself in the mirror. Like, that is a confidence builder in itself. Tell yourself, you are beautiful. You are strong. You are good looking. Take care of yourself. I think that's like the first thing if you want to build confidence. Make your bed, brush your teeth, comb your hair, dress, like not like a POS, essentially. And then, when you get in those moments when you're walking up to that pretty girl, you can think like, I looked at myself in the mirror this morning. I am good looking. I am dressed nice. I did brush my teeth. And when you get there, you don't have to just be like, hey, I love you. Let me take you home and let's sleep together. Like, what I mean? You just go like, hi, like, you're good looking, or like, people like compliments. You're never gonna walk up to a girl and be like, hey, you look nice today, and she's gonna be like, fuck off. Like, Girl tell she looks nice. Whether she, says whatever back or not, it will give you a pretty good indicator of where you're at. Or not.
Yeah. My dad always says, you gotta find common ground. Just if she likes blue, you like fucking blue,
Right.
And
my manipulation tactic. Hold on.
And Chase, I shit you not, one time, my dad, right? He sees this pretty girl in the parking lot. He's at Publix. Sees this pretty girl, and he's like, he walks by her. He's like, man, I always tell my kids, shoot your shot, shoot your shot, shoot your shot, And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go shoot my shot, get the bat off my shoulder, and take a swing. So he goes over there, talks to her, and he starts chatting her up, whatever, in the grocery parking lot. And he's like, ask her if she's got kids. She's like, no, I don't have any kids. He's like, shit, I don't got kids either,
Y'all are in the car just like, damn.
So he says, I don't got no kids, right? And then we don't know about this at all. We're celebrating my little brother's birthday, and we're all at this pizza parlor, right? And we're at this pizza parlor, and my dad goes, hey, y'all, I have this lady coming. She's my date tonight, but I told her I don't have kids, so y'all are just my nephews. Oh. Right?
Wow.
And so, like, we're there with all the friends, everybody. So we're all like, all right, Uncle Jeff, everyone's playing jokes or whatever. And then so she comes in, we're just like all dying, making a joke out of it, trying to embarrass my dad or whatever. Like, oh, you Unc, you paying for it? You paying for it, Unc? And then, of course, later on, she finds out, she puts two and two together. It's a small town. I have a big name around here. And she goes, Tyler's your son, And then he found out that she had kids too. So they were both lying to each other, and they both still talk to each other.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to borrow my roommate's dog to take for walks at the dog park so that I could go talk to the girl. Yeah, this is my dog. His name is Jack. And then she'll be like, you told me last week the dog's name was Max. I was like, oh, shit, I forgot.
Yeah, you just lying about dumb shit, Chase.
Whatever it takes.
I was going to say, whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes.
Hey, but no, he said something earlier, too, about fake it till you make it. And Pete Carroll has a famous, he had a famous quote he said to his guys. This is when he was making that big run for the Super Bowl at the Seahawks. And he goes, guys, if you're not feeling it out there, like you're at practice and you're running flat, you're feeling low, fake it. Fake it. Get that false sense of bravado going on, because eventually it's contagious too. It's gonna bounce off someone else. It's gonna bounce. Everyone's rah, getting hype, for practice, and even if you're not feeling it, but eventually you'll start believing it.
Of course.
And then it'll come through, and you'll be playing fast. You'll be playing excited. And I think, like people in here are saying, fake it till you make it's wrong, like because you're just faking it. No, like you gotta. If you don't have it, you got to keep going until you do have it.
Of course.
But I feel like we talked about confidence in only looks, and it's also like how you carry yourself. Like how many times have we all seen a really like super hot girl or like hot guy or whatever with somebody that you're like, how did they get that person? You know what I mean? But it's the way that person carries themselves. It's the energy that they bring into their room. So it works both ways, like beyond looks. It's like act that way and you'll attract what you want.
Dad bod Chase.
Exactly. Give off energy, and I think that when you give off that energy, you give off energy, you receive energy, you attract different energy, and I think like the way you perceive yourself, you typically find yourself around those similar people, and like that's to say, like for me especially, like TV, sports, whatever. I always feel like I would pretend like I was this person, and like I would see myself as this person, and do this all the time, and then you get to be that person, and you're like, wow, like, how did this happen? Like, it was such chance, but it's really not. It's, manifestation, it's energy, it's faking it, it's confidence.
Yep.
Is the persona that is you on too hot to handle, perfect match you at all at home?
Not at all. Not at all. And I think that that's also like a very hard thing that, a lot of people have to deal with is because, you being on reality TV, I'm sure you know this as well. It's like you have all these people that watch, 10 hours of you, 12 hours of you, whatever it is. And they have like this preconceived notion of who you are your entire life. And this is who you should be. This is who you deserve. And they start making like, speculations about who you are. But I think that, I know that it's like a job, you know what I mean? Like I know that on TV, this is what is my character on TV. This is what I'm comfortable with doing. This is why they bring me to these things. And, I provide entertainment, whether some people are like, oh, you're just saying that to be a dick or this and that. It's like, I come on these TV shows and I'm like, I'm still myself, but I'm like an amplified version of myself. It's like, if somebody's doing something, I'm going to be like, that's not right. That's wrong. It comes from, being an athlete. If you fuck up on a play, you're going to know, like, bro, you fucked the whole, you didn't do your 1/11th. And like, I transitioned that into like TV. I didn't do my 1/10. If there's 10 people on the show, I'm not doing my job, then the show's not, not doing well. And then I go into real life and I'm like, the cameras aren't on. I don't have to like, yell every 5 minutes. I don't have to, pretend to have an interesting conversation about this spoon that I found on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same. But it is the same. I feel like it's a lot of like amplified improv. That'd be like the best way to put it.
What is confidence to you guys?
What is confidence to us? Wow, that's big. I would say everything from the way you said your walk, your swag, your energy. He spoke about energy. I'm really big on energy, and I just think if you show it all together, put it all together, it just rises with you. You got to rise up in the morning and show it.
You want to hear my most confident story? Most confident.
I want to hear it. Let's go.
This is a leading question for you as well. And let me know if you would ever do this. I was so confident on this TV show one time that I literally gave a girl as a gift a simple rock. So my question for you is, would you ever give a girl a rock as a gift?
A rock?
You just gave her a rock? Well, like, why did you give her a rock?
So, like, on Perfect Match, I gave Georgia a rock. It was like a gift to her. And obviously, like, there was like a lot that played into it. Like, I remember one night, she was telling me about this guy she used to date, and he like sold rocks or something. He worked in a quarry. I can't remember the exact details of it, but like it was something like I was like, I don't know if you ever read the book, How to Make Friends and Lead People. But like in the book, they say, you're supposed to remember, 5 things about somebody, like their name, their color, like their age, something about their back, like whatever, mom's name. And like, it makes people feel really good. And so like, I remember she told me about this guy. This is me being manipulative. And I remember she told me about this guy that she really liked or disliked. I can't even remember the full details. Now it's been so long. But he had something to do with rocks. And so one day she was really, pissed off at me. And so I was like, how do I convince this girl that I'm going to be like solid for her in here? I'm not gonna be flaky and go off. And so like I'm walking around, and I go to the beach and I found this rock. And so I spent all day like carving this damn rock to look like a heart, right? It's like I put it in like a jewelry box, and I'm like, I'm bringing out the Riz. I'm about to go be like, the Riz father over here. And I go up to her and I'm just like, yeah, I got this really special gift for you. Like it's gonna show you how like solid I am for you in here, and it's gonna be super cool and blah blah blah. And she goes, oh my God, what is this? Like super stoked. And she opens it up and it's just like this plain rock. And yeah.
What did she say?
How does she react to that?
I think she told me, whatever you think is the right thing to do the opposite.
Wow.
But once you hear that story, you put so much effort. I actually thought it was cute.
I thought it was good, bro.
Yeah, like for me, like I'm about like I think I was like about like contracts and stuff on that. So like I like signed the back of the rock and I gave it to her and I told her, I was like, this rock is like a symbol of like our relationship in here, saying like I'll be solid for you in here, even though everybody thinks I'm gonna screw you over and get you kicked out of the house. And like it was like a bunch of backstory with it. It wasn't just like I just went and picked up a rock and was like, here you go, this is the best I got. There was like all this thing. Well, she picks up the rock and she's like, I'll think on this. And she like walks over. Obviously, like all the other guys in the house are like, bro, you gave her a pebble? Like, what the hell are you doing? I'm thinking like, bro, let me cook. I got this. And then obviously, like when I was watching it back, I was like, I don't remember that going that way. But
Chase, I think you like playing from behind. You like to be the comeback kid. You like to set yourself up, to fail a little bit, but like say I can get back.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
I think that's what I see. Sometimes I like to play from behind too.
Oh my God.
You got to give him a story, right? It's gonna be a hell of a story.
Phil, how are you gonna deliver that rock to somebody? If you got to give a rock to Amber, how are you gonna deliver it to her?
I was gonna feed off of what he was saying. I'm like, listen, I'm solid for you. I'm gonna be your rock no matter what. That's how I would deliver it to her. Like, so baby, know that this rock is a symbol for us, and I'll always be the foundation if you fall.
Or this is like the first
You're telling me if I don't
block.
give her a Louis Vuitton bag, if I gave her a Louis Vuitton bag, I'm sure she would have kept it. You know what I mean?
Of course she would have kept it. But that's materialistic though.
The rock will last longer.
Damn right.
Yeah, that would be my pitch. Like, this is the first building block of our relationship. This
Yeah.
rock.
Right.
Right?
And it could have been something like cute. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, oh, you gave me this rock on this TV show and this experience. Nah, it wasn't a Prada bag, so it wasn't as cool.
Chase,
so.
what I hit her with is like, see this rock right now? It's a little jagged, kind of like us. But the more it gets weathered, the more it goes through the river, the more it goes through the storm, the smoother it's gonna get.
Okay, TC.
The smoother we're gonna get.
Okay.
Look at that on the fly.
Bro, you know what I said? I said, I know I can be dumb as a rock sometimes. And right now it's like we're in a rock in a hard place.
Oh, that's good.
And I could be stubborn like this rock. I said something stupid like that. And then I was like, here's the rock. And she was like, not impressed at all.
What about you, Dom? How you gonna deliver that rock?
That's what I just said. The building block.
The building block?
That would be mine.
Yeah.
But that makes me sad for you.
Well, good thing we're not building
love
out of
the
rocks.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I had a cockroach fly on my face from my first girlfriend. My second girlfriend on TV cheated on me, and my third one denied my rock. So
Damn.
I'm over it.
Damn. So you're gonna try a girlfriend in real life?
Wait. I got it. Where's my real rock?
Ah,
Oh, there it is.
On my, finger.
Maybe we'll turn this into a diamond.
Ooh, there we go.
When do you see yourself settling down?
That's a really good question. I know, like with Perfect Match, there was like all this speculation. That's how I actually got booted out of the house. Is like, Francesca had said, like, apparently she said, I didn't have proof, but I heard that he had a girlfriend in real life. I didn't have a girlfriend in real life back then, but I think all of us, even on the show, were talking to somebody or multiple people, depending on who you were. But I think that right now, like, I don't know, like I feel right now I'm like super invested into like traveling a lot. Obviously, like so I'm still recently playing football. I am a free agent right now, but I was, last year playing the USFL. I box now, doing TV full time. I just got back from doing like another show and transitioning into like scripted work. And, I just feel like right now in my life right now, it just doesn't make sense for me to say like, oh, this girl that I met at the club in Los Angeles, California on a random Saturday night is going to be like, my love for the rest of my life. I just don't see that happening anytime soon.
I hear you. No, I mean, at least you know that.
Yep.
I think as long as you're transparent and honest,
Amen.
I think
Take your time.
It's all you can do.
Yeah,
So with
man,
you,
honest
like
ish.
in the future, wanting to be a dating coach, right? Would you say like
Right.
you yourself personally are coachable? Like, would you be able to take advice from your partner well? Are you stubborn in that aspect? Like, tell us a little bit more about that part about yourself.
Yeah, I think like the most important thing in relationships, they'll tell you is like, it's very underrated and it's very cliche, but they will say communication because like, and I don't mean communication in the sense of like, oh, I'm really pissed off today. I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm pissed off. I think like sometimes you don't always, you have to sit on some stuff. I think everybody in a relationship, who's ever been in a relationship understands that you're going to have to sit on some shit sometimes. And whether, you can get past it or not will determine like the strength of your relationship. But I think that when I say communication, I used to say this thing all the time. And my dad used to tell me this too. He used to say, if you can learn to swim without getting wet, then you'll never really drown. And so like I was big on like, you just kind of like.
The hell does that mean, Mr. Miyagi? The fuck?
We lost you.
Oh no.
You're mute. We can't hear you. Oh, we can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, my Bluetooth just randomly connected.
I was just going to say that's what
Don't worry. Yo, Chase, what the hell was that Mr. Miyagi shit? If you can learn to swim in the water and not get wet, what the hell are you talking about?
Explain that one.
Oh, I was saying like my dad used to tell me that because he's like, you kind of just ought to like hide in plain sight. He's like, like just being like honest about like what it is you're doing. I'm like, I would say things in like a way that it was just like, you know, it's kind of like that thing where you can say whatever you want. If you say it with a smile on your face, it's not like really taking it seriously. So I'd be like, you know, for example, like one time I took, you know, a couple of the girls I was talking to on the same date, but like the way I would do it is like I would invite, you know, these 5 girls I was talking to and like 2 of my guy friends. I'll be like, hey, there's a group of us going to this restaurant at, you know, 8 o'clock, come meet me, blah, blah, blah. And I would come just sit there and just chat with everybody. So it was never weird, right? And so like stuff like that, I'd be like, you know, were you talking to this girl? Were you talking to this girl? And then I would be like, well, yeah, like I invited you guys all to the same dinner. And they'd be like, oh, I thought that was just a me invite. I'd be like, no, I said it was like a group thing. I just never really said, you know, committed to one or the other person.
Yo, you're running your own bachelor show, Chase.
Oh,
You are running your own bachelor
you got
show.
guts, bro. That's crazy.
But I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not like, I wasn't looking for a serious relationship, but I'm just sitting there, bro. Like, it's just like The Bachelor, bro. It's like, you know, survival of the fittest. You know, I go to this date and I'm like, if somebody's like, you know, acting off, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to talk to you. You can't even handle yourself in public with a group of people. How are you going to handle yourself when it's just one-on-one, you know? And, you know.
Chase, you are 1-on-1, dog.
That's an interesting tactic, but
Okay.
It's not something I encourage. I don't encourage that. Don't get me wrong. This was like 2 years ago when I was fresh off of 2 Out the Handle, and I was like obviously not looking to talk to any girls. I'm just saying, like, when I'm overly honest, it's not like I'm selling a dream to a girl. If a girl's like, hey, do you see yourself marrying me in, you know, 5 years? I'm gonna be like, I don't even know what I'm having for dinner yet. You know what I mean? So like 5 years is outlandish.
That's amazing.
Oh, Chase.
I love the realness, though.
Yeah.
I gotta give you that, buddy. That's awesome.
Chase,
I directly answer the question.
Yeah.
so there's a story. I think it was Stefan Diggs. It's a famous story about his Valentine's Day. And he had 2 girls staying at the same hotel and eating at different restaurants in the hotel, I think it was, during Valentine's Day. So he would like spend time with one, leave the other, and he was just trying to play this whole game of like hanging with one, and then leaving her, hanging with the other. Like did all the rooms up in flowers, everything.
Oh my God.
I could see Chase on some of that.
I sweat too much for that kind of stuff, man. I would be sweating all over. Like,
Chase, what's it to you? Is it just like, do you like the story, the game? What is it?
I'm just like, I don't know, man. I think it's like, it's a little bit of both, I suppose. I just think it's kind of funny. But like, it's not, I don't know how to describe it. I feel like, for example, you said the Valentine's Day thing, but like actually a really funny story is I flew out to Perfect Match on Valentine's Day. And I actually was having dinner with a girl I was talking to at the time. And then another girl who lived in my same building came over to my apartment with her friend because I invited one of my guy friends over who was talking to her friend. And so, like, I actually had 2 of the girls I was talking to at my Valentine's Day dinner at the same time. Obviously, you know, I wasn't, you know, one way or another. They were both texting me, like, get her out, and the other one was texting, get her out. And I just think, like, I don't know, like, for me, like, I'm not committed to, like, this person or this person. And to me, like, I know that they're not committed to me fully. So it's just, like, like you said, like, I like to play from behind, but, like, not from that far behind.
Yeah, I can tell. All right, we're gonna go to a song here.
wow.
And then we're gonna go to the live calls, and these calls are gonna be interesting. I'm excited for them. Chase.
Me too, bro. Me too.
Chase, you got a song for us?
Do I have a song for you? I don't.
Yeah, all right.
Like your favorite song right now.
No, I got a song for you. I'm gonna play that. It's a song. This song's about you. I don't want.
If that doesn't work, I got a song he needs to listen to.
What song is that?
I got a song.
Put that woman first.
Nah.
Jay's like, I'm not ready for that.
Damn, hold on.
Were you guys in serious relationships at 25? I want to know. Y'all come for me.
No. To be honest, no. So that's why I say stay 25 and enjoy it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
Yeah,
I
no.
actually appreciate everything you've said this whole time. You're a very honest person, and I
Yep.
can read that just from talking to you.
Yep.
And I feel like you have a lot of good things going on in your life right now. A relationship would probably cloud that.
Yeah.
So I think you should still keep doing you. living
Your relationship
life.
is your business is going on right now. So that's your relationship.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know who you're gonna meet. I'm
Yeah, you know, and you know, that's another thing too, is like if I am committed to somebody, I feel like at this point, like I would just be committed to that person. And I think that, you know, having time for that is going to make a big difference in that relationship.
Yeah. Like if you have good, strong morals, when you're ready for that, then you're going to do fine.
All right, I'm going to play the song for you. We're going to go to a little break here, then we're going to call-ins. This song's for you. I'm Not a Player by Big Pun. All right, now.
Imagine that.
We're about to open up the call-ins here and wrap this show up. This has been fun, Chase.
Man.
You are hilarious.
You had me cracking up.
Oh, man. Chase, what do you got coming up? Besides the fight, you just locked down right now, training?
Yeah, bro. Like, I just got back filming another show that comes out this summer. Right now, I'm like chasing my acting career, so like I'm getting ready to sign with like a management, just interviewing different agencies and stuff right now. And then obviously, like I signed a multi-fight deal with Misfits, so I have like 4 fights this year. A video game deal, just like a bunch of stuff. Getting my clothing line ready to go.
Nice.
There we go. Good shit.
That's awesome. You're hustling.
All right, Chase. We got a caller calling in right now. This is Peach Queen. She's an avid caller.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna be a good one.
Yes, it is.
Here we go.
Oh.
Hey guys.
What's up?
What's up, Peach
Christine?
Queen?
Bye.
How are you guys doing?
We're
How are
good. We're
you?
good.
What's so funny, Christine? You getting shy, nervous now?
Okay, I won't lie, Chase. I'm not a fan of yours.
Ouch.
Oh, she
Why
coming in
not?
hot.
Wow, Christine.
And I don't know if it's just because like I've heard a lot of podcasts with you, and I've also like seen Too Hot to Handle, and I actually just finished watching Perfect Match last night. And I don't know. I mean, like I know that people have to play this like persona that they have on like TV, obviously, because they want to get like the fans like excited and like into the TV show. But I feel like, no offense, but every time I feel like I hear you talk, it's just very like manipulative, and like you kind of have like your own like persona that you like to play off. Like I totally understand that, and like I'm sure that you are a really good guy, but maybe because you are so young, like you kind of just play out kind of like a douchebag, and that you just don't really care about women overall, that you kind of just are in it to get laid.
Well, for starters, I'm really, really sorry that you feel that way. I think that just keep in mind when you watch TV, I don't know that many people that would want to watch a TV show where everybody just gets along the entire time. It kind of just defeats the purpose. I think that they cast people specifically for what they're going to bring to the TV show, and I think that if you just did finish watching Perfect Match, if you got to the finale, I'm never really lying. Everything I said was the truth. And obviously, I don't know if you've kept up with the post-show drama, but everything that I did say in the finale is true still to this day. And, none of the couples are together. And I think that, I was just saying what everybody was thinking. And if that comes off as douchey or condescending, then, if it wasn't me particularly, it would be, somebody else, for example. So.
No, for sure, totally. But have you ever, like, outside of that, like, I mean, clearly, and like, of course, you're like an athlete and like you're young and whatever, and I'm not one to talk because I'm not in a relationship either, but like, have you ever been in like a serious relationship? Like, are you like, I feel like we've never, kind of seen that side of you, and I feel like people would love to see that side of you. If what you're saying on the show is that you do have another side, and that you are like really a genuine person, and you have a lot more to offer, like I feel like a lot more people, and again, I get the TV part, like people have to see, the funny side and the stuff, the drama, like none of it's real. Like obviously people know that in reality TV. There has to be like a catch and like something to draw people in. But like, I feel like you could definitely have this other side of you, where you can kind of like show the real you. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like I haven't. I mean, I guess on this show, you've a little bit shown that, but you haven't really shown a lot to it other than that I've seen.
Yeah, and that's also fair. And here's the thing with that is, with Perfect, okay, for Too Hot to Handle, for example, there's a lot of stuff you have to keep in mind on reality TV. keep in mind that 100% of what you see is probably like 20% of what actually happened, you know? So they move things around, you know,
Less than
they move things around. Sometimes,
With Garrett
sometimes,
from FY Island, and like I've seen a completely different side of him. And like on the TV show, they totally made him out to be just like this like
calculator.
villain. And I mean, like I'm friends with him, and he's like literally the coolest guy I could ever know.
Right. And if you're friends with Garrett, I'm very, very close with Garrett. You can ask Garrett what type of guy I am in real life, and I think that he'll vouch for me as well. And I think that you should understand too that, you know, like conversations you could have, say for example, if I say like if I'm talking to my friend and I say no to my friend and they just take that no, they could put it in like, you know, the confessional and be like, you know, have a girl ask you, do you like my dress? And then it'll cut to the confessional and be like, no. You know, like they can make anything happen out of anything with the words that you choose. And I think that, you know, on these shows, like this is your role, this is what you have to play. But at the same time, it's like, I think that you also need to realize that everybody on the show is playing their role. So if you feel like, you know, this person's really loving and caring and genuine, and everybody's out to get her, you also have to keep in mind, like that's her job on the show is to appear that way, you know? And I think that, you know, everybody's going to have their opinions about people. But at the end of the day, TV show is for entertainment. It's not real. It's, you know, it's
Chase. You're not going to get callbacks if you don't get people entertained. You know,
right? You know what I mean. And that's why if I was like as evil or as bad as everybody thinks, then you know, like I would, you know, not have like, you know, a platform or followers that get put on these other shows. You know, it's just like you gotta do your job, and you know, that's just, you know, sometimes how it has to be. And I'm not saying like I don't care for these girls. I care for them very much. Like I have great relationships with all these girls in real life. You know, I have great relationships with Francesca, with Georgia, with Carly. Not so much with Tabitha, but like all the other girls I've ever done TV shows with, I have great relationships with them in real life.
I just did the math. You kind of prompted me to do the math. You said 20% of like, say you filmed for a month and you filmed 12-hour days. And what do you film 7 days a week doing that?
Yeah, they're like 18-hour days.
18-hour days. So my numbers are going to be even lower. But I did the math. You're really only getting 2.7% of what is actually,
wow,
you know,
what's actually going on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So everything that you film, everything that you're doing, you only see the best 2% that can make, and all that shit is cut up and put in place, whether it's a soundbite that didn't even happen during that point in time, or it's a conversation that happened way later, but it makes more sense to put it here to add drama. That's how these shows work.
Editing is magic.
And they film all this footage for a whole month, 2 months, 18-hour days to break it all down into a 10-hour, you know, 10-episode, 1-hour episode, 10 hours total show. And so you're seeing 2% of somebody, if that, you know. And so I mean, and Chase makes it, you know, a great point that he's playing his role. And Francesca's playing her role, and George's playing her role. If not, these people aren't getting called back. These people aren't getting the opportunities that they're getting to. You got one chance to seize what you're doing right now. And Chase is making the most of it, you know? And he's putting...
And you're also not going to have a TV show to watch.
Yeah, it's just going to be boring, you know?
Seize the day, brother.
And so... what made my show so amazing was Luke Parker, the villain on my show. Like, if it wasn't for him, my show wouldn't have been as good. You know, I'm not necessarily calling you a villain, but I'm the one that everyone hates or goes against is that guy, or because just how he was manipulative towards the girl. But if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a great show. You know, if it wasn't for Hannah keeping him around, we wouldn't have a great show. So it's like people want to come at these people, and I don't think Luke Parker's a bad person. You know, when he gets down to the bottom of it, you know, I think he at the end of the day, if he gets over some of the things he believes in, he could be a great person, you know? So it's you're getting 2%, you're getting a very fabricated version of everyone else. And that's what I get so frustrated about when I see negative comments coming towards somebody off The Bachelor, off of Too Out of Handle, or all these franchises, because we're people too. Right. You know? Right. And we're going through shit on our end, and then you're gonna come out and come at us because we're playing a role, we're having fun, we're being depicted in a certain way that not necessarily is even true, you know? Right. So I think everyone listening and watching these shows needs to take a lot of things with a grain of salt. You know, I think, you know, people like.
Definitely like to just throw my 2 cents in though. Here's the difference too is like, and like I was saying, like obviously I'm not here to like pick on anybody or like put anybody down. Like, I, again, understand these TV shows and stuff, but I think we would all love to see this side of Chase that is like right here and right in front of us. Like, I think that a lot of people don't get to see that. And I think that's where a lot of these people, not just you, Chase, but like you were saying, Tyler, these people who have to play the like villain or like the person who's like, you know, making the show entertaining, and everybody has to play the roles. But there's like things outside of that. Like, Tyler, we see a different side of you every time you're on the show, and like you continuously try to like show people who you are. And I think that we would love to see more of that from Chase and all of these other people that are made out to be the villain, or, you know, whatever their role is.
But I think what's so cool for Chase is
that's more where I was like coming from, is like, I think we would love to see the Chase that you were showing us currently.
But I think you will. I think you're gonna see the whole evolution of Chase, which is the dopest thing about it. Is like you get to see this arc, and then you get to see the next arc. Like Chase is gonna be a family man one day, you know, and then we're gonna learn about that Chase, and everyone has to go through their shit. You know, if I had Chase's fame at 24, 20, even 25, I mean, I got on the show at 26, and I didn't know how to act, and I was running crazy. You know what I mean?
My God.
And I was making mistakes and doing shit, but I wasn't in the light. Like, you know, like Netflix is different. He's dating all these girls. I had to go date one girl.
Right.
You know,
right.
like, so
He had choices.
He had choices, you know, and choices always complicate things, you know.
Me at 25, Peach Queen. I'm thankful that there was no social media. Okay. Because that's all I got to say about that one.
And also keep in mind, like, with like these shows too, like, you also have to like keep in mind that if you watch a show, you watch it for like, you know, the quirkiness, the plot twist, the ups, the downs. If you watch a show the entire time and everybody just got along the entire time, it'd be a pretty boring show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's that aspect.
Awesome. Well, Christine, it's always great having you.
Love you guys.
See you, girl.
Sorry, Chase.
See ya.
Have a good day.
I love you guys.
There's no way I could have been in your role or his role at 25 years old. No way. I was a hot mess at 25.
I don't think she still doesn't like me.
We have one more call. This is our last call. Lori G, what's going on?
Came in hot, Chase.
Bro, she can't say, I don't like you.
Yeah, we
You guys hear me?
can hear you. What's up, Lori?
Hi, my name is Lori. I'm a big fan of you guys, Tyler and Phil and everyone. I'm so sorry about you, Chase. Like, that collar was hot and heavy. I bet my 2 cents is that the villain is only one part of the show. You might be different in real life, and I give people the benefit of the doubt. And I wanted to invite everyone to my birthday party. I'm going to go to Restoration Hardware.
Hey, get that cheeseburger.
West Palm. Yeah, at West Palm for my birthday on April 30th. But if you can't go, I totally understand. So.
Well, Lori, we appreciate the invite. If we can make it, we'll be there.
You are so
I'm
sweet.
really
Thank you
nervous.
so much. That literally made my
My
day.
hand's like shaking. I'm like, yeah.
Aw.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, Lori.
We
You
appreciate
made my
that,
day,
Lori.
literally.
See, South Florida locals are the best.
I know.
Right.
I love our
He's like, come
Florida
out. We're a
people.
big family. Come to my birthday
I love
party.
that. I love that.
Lori, we appreciate you.
Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Cool.
That was the nicest call I've ever gotten in my life.
That's how you end it, baby. That's how you end it.
That's how we're going to end it. But, man, Chase, once again, man, thank you so much for joining us, for calling and being a part of this show, man. I truly appreciate it. I think, we learned, some about you. I mean, you're hilarious. You're one-on-one. You're authentic. You keep it real.
Yep.
And honest. And it was fun. And I think the big lesson is guys, you only get 2% of what is actually on TV. So I think she said it best, like, give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Amen.
Like, we're all playing roles. We're all having fun in this game. And if not, we're not getting calls back. Like, if I'm not entertaining, I'm not getting my next job. You're not getting your next job. And I think, everyone just should take it for a grain of salt for what it is and just enjoy what it is on the TV. Don't take it personal. Have fun with it,
and you're in a fun stage of your life. So enjoy that.
Have
like T
fucking
said,
fun.
have some fun, bro.
Have fun.
I know I did. Don't regret anything. Okay.
I appreciate you guys so much for having me.
Chase, man, and you got your fight coming up April 21st in New Orleans. If I don't have shit going on, I'm gonna be there.
I'll make sure you got a ringside seat. It's gonna be a good one. I gotta put this Stevie Knight to bed.
Put him to sleep, man. Put him to sleep. Well, I'm excited, man. I appreciate you coming on here and joining us. Guys, that's it for episode 37, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.